Hello, how are we all?
Good.
Good.
I'm very good response as usual. It's episode 23. We're back to all being in our own little rooms. Last week's episode got just over 50 views, so we want more. So keep watching and make sure you subscribe because we haven't said that in a while. We need more subscribers.
And
Subscribe, like, click the bell.
Shimmies.
Right, there's a theme here, and all our tops are all of a certain team, the Mighty Queen of the South. So, Greg,
Game.
I know, to be fair, we're all reusing these at this point.
Yeah,
So
last
if you'd like
season's
to-
on top.
If you'd like to donate some tops to us, maybe not donate tops, make sure you wash them first if you're donating, but you can use a bit of money towards some new ones.
Greg takes a double XL bed sheet.
Sorry, what did you say? Double
Nothing.
XL?
Double XL bed sheet.
I think you'll find it's Macron. It's definitely more than double XL.
To be fair, the Macron, they're like Under Armour tops. They're quite tight. Anyway, we're all being responsible this week and not having a drink. Those two are working, and I had a bit too much to drink on Saturday, to say the least. So I'll not be indulging for a wee while yet. That is the talcum powder I left. Thanks for that, Greg.
Tasty.
That was a bit immature, actually.
Grow up.
Yeah. So this week, Greg's taken the reins, and he has prepared a very in-depth analysis of all the Scottish leagues down to the Lowland and the Highland League. So prepare yourself for a bit of conversation about Scottish football today. Gregory, do you want to take it away?
Yeah, kind of the idea of this, kind of before the season finishes, there's kind of some key battles going on in places. So kind of you've got 2 games left before the split in the Premiership. So that's a kind of total of 7 games left, and then 4 games left before the playoffs start and the rest of the divisions. So we're just going to kind of discuss what might happen, what we think might happen, who could end up going up, going down, playing in the playoffs, that
Going
kind
left,
of thing.
going right.
Aye, that. So if we start in the Premiership, Celtic are 8 points clear now. There is surely no way back for Rangers after last weekend's debacle. Instant reaction from the massive Rangers fan on the podcast. One word review of Rangers.
One word, not good enough. I mean, there's plenty to talk about in that game. The league's definitely gone now. I don't think there's any way back. I'd just like to put it out there that the Morelos disallowed goal was 100% a goal, and they're not changing my mind otherwise. At the time,
The
I said,
SFA
well,
disagree
they
with
can
you.
shove it. I initially said that the Jota handball was indeed a handball, but after watching it back sober, I can agree that it was not a handball. His hands are by his side, so I'll take that one on the chin. Sorry for arguing about that one, Greg. But the Morelos was undoubtedly a goal. He got overpowered by Morelos. It was a 50-50.
The thing is, I get why he gave it. Like, it looks wrong, and it looked wrong, so it probably was. He gave a free kick, and when he gives a free kick, they're not overturning it. Same way if he gives a goal, they're not overturning it. And that's kind of what we want VAR for. So like I said at the time, I'm kind of getting fed up with, especially in that game on the telly, and I love Ali McCoist, but every time the ball went out for a throw-in that was given the wrong way, Ali McCoist was like, why can't VAR sort that out? Well, because if it did, Ali, you'd moan about them interfering every 5 seconds.
But I just don't understand why they couldn't have overturned the one that would have led to a goal.
Because, well, if they overturn that, they have to send them to the monitor, but they have to think that he should overturn it. That's the language. They have to, think he's made a clear and obvious error. And I can get he's made an error, but is it clear and obvious? Not for me.
Very much.
I never watched it, so I didn't know this.
Well, the whole of Cardiff heard my views on it, and then the whole of Cardiff heard me and Greg arguing about it.
Yes, they did.
I heard that. I heard that for work.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I think it was an error. Do I think it was clear and obvious when he gave it? I get why he gave it.
Well, to be honest, he didn't, so you got to move on with it, and 2 defensive errors ruins it. So Suter, God knows what was going through his head. To be fair, chucked it at the deep end, but still.
He's a
mental,
pro. He's a pro footballer. He should be ready for anything.
yeah. And mental, there's still people who think he should be playing for Scotland over Ryan Porteous.
Well, I've said my bit. You can give your view now.
I mean, yeah. I did cash out my little bet that I had Celtic to win when Rangers scored their second, because it was only £3 difference. And, but Rangers, did they actually look like equalising, scoring a third? Yeah.
No, shout out to Tavernier though, 100 goals.
Yeah.
Imagine scoring your 100th goal, one of them being an absolute screamer against Celtic, and you still lose.
Yep.
Oh.
I think that kind of says, where the teams are at the moment, though. You kind of look at the league stats, and Celtic have scored 22 more goals than Rangers in the same number of games.
Yeah.
But they've got depth. They've got depth and all that stuff.
Which is what Rangers had in the 55 season, but now they've just not got. So
Correct.
Never replaced Bassey nor Aribo, but we've been over that before.
Yeah.
Yes, we have. What about the cup game coming up? Do you have a chance?
I think we've got absolutely nothing to lose now because we've got quite a lot to lose if we don't win this. Because if we don't win this, then it's already been an absolute write-off of a season. I mean, last season we had the Europa League run to kind of blame on league form, maybe still won the Scottish Cup, but it's just we don't even have that to fall back on this season. So I think it's a must win. I think we could do it, but
be tight.
I think it'll be a tight game.
It'll be quite funny if you do it and then lose to either Falkirk or Inverness in the final.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Pure Rangers.
Anyway, other big news from this weekend is that Hearts are no longer third. They have been usurped by Aberdeen, who have now taken that position over them, and Hearts are actually only 1 point ahead of St Mirren, who are the team that beat them on Saturday. We now know that Robbie Neilson no longer has a job.
Robbie Neilson away.
It'll be Stephen Naismith taking over to the end of the season. What's our thoughts on that? Was it time for him to go?
I don't know why the thought of Stephen Naismith being in charge makes me laugh. I'm just used to him scoring for Rangers back in the day, but whatever his celebration was.
He's wee baldy head.
Yeah. I mean, when I saw it, I was a bit surprised that Neilson went so soon, but seeing what some of the fans were saying, they did have a point. They were not up to as much. But to think that they were playing, they really should have beat Zurich. They should have been in the Europa League. That was a kick in the nether regions to start with. So having that, I mean, fair enough. You know what I mean? They played in the conference, but that was only because they didn't have to win any more games to get into that.
Yeah, they came out that straight away as well. So they wasted that.
They're just not been good enough in the league. They should have been going by some of the predictions by the fans. They were pushed second, but never followed in the table. So I think Neilson away is probably best for the club. I think get a new man in and freshen up. But like you say, Nacy till summer.
Well, that's the two that's third. Aberdeen still have Barry Robson in temporary charge.
Doing really well, actually.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, you look at, I take it that, if you're the Hearts board, that plays into your head as well, right? Aberdeen got rid of their manager. They're now above you. They were utter shit before that, and they're now above you.
Getting beat by Darvel, wasn't it?
And the rest.
Yeah.
That it says a lot. Third is really important because third obviously has that Europa League.
Yeah, that's the thing. Wait, so see, this is too much for my little brain. Greg, you might be able to shed some light. So with like coefficient points in that, are we likely to lose our spot in the? Wait, no, I don't know how to understand it works because as it stands, we've got 2 Champions League, 1 automatic qualification, 1 through the playoffs, and then we've got Europa League, and then we've got a Conference League.
Was it not 2 Conference League?
Was it 2 Conference? Oh yeah,
you had St Johnstone and Dundee United.
And Dundee United, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if Falkirk or Inverness win the cup, it will go to them.
Is there a chance of us losing one of those spaces due to coefficient points? Because Rangers and Celtic were pushing Europe this year.
Not this season. It would have to apply however many seasons down the line. It works as far as I believe. It used to be a 5-year rolling average.
How do Falkirk or Inverness get it if
they win the cup?
So if they come second, they don't go in.
Mm-hmm. If they lose the cup final, then that rule's been scrapped. But if they win the cup, then they'll get a place.
Just because Queens were put in the cup.
But that was because Rangers won it and already had a place. Right, I've got you.
So if Celtic win it and Falkirk are the final, Falkirk don't go.
No.
That's wrong.
Whereas Johnston last year, for example.
Because Rangers played Hearts and Rangers won, but Hearts already had a place.
But
when it matters, yeah.
St Johnstone won the cup final last year.
Fred Cup.
Was it just the League Cup? I thought he won 2 cups.
That was about 10 years ago.
That was the year before. That was the year before. Celtic won the League Cup last year and Rangers won the Scottish Cup.
You're thinking of the COVID season.
Rangers beat Hearts in the final.
Season, but that's how St Johnstone got their position in the COVID season then.
Right.
So wait, who did we have in Europe last year?
St Johnstone didn't play last season. It was Dundee United and Hearts.
It was the year before. So we got an extra place this year.
I'm sure they did.
I'm so confused.
Let me check St Johnstone.
I'm also very confused.
They played because I'm sure somebody played against Galatasaray and scored.
Yeah, but that was the year before, was it not? That's the one I'm thinking of.
I'm sure it was this year.
The United definitely played this year.
Yeah,
I'm sure St Johnstone must have been the year before because I watched it in Dumfries.
They got scudded by AZ Alkmaar.
Yes, they did after winning 1-0 at home.
Yeah, Glenn Middleton scored a free kick.
It wasn't a free kick; it was just a screamer.
Was it not? I thought it was a free kick.
Anyway, who do we think is going to get third? They obviously
see that wee segment there. We sounded so uneducated to be having a podcast.
If anyone knows the answer about European coefficient places, can someone put it in the comments below? Because fuck knows.
Maybe
it's all going to change again.
If
the Champions League format changes again, which there are rumour, like it's been announced that that's probably the coefficient places are probably going to change again. Anyway, who's going to finish third?
Who's wrong?
Me. It was because Sean Rooney left in the summer last season. It was 2021.
Right.
St Johnstone played Galatasaray.
Anyway, to go back to this, who's going to finish third? Are Hearts going to get back there? Is it going to be Aberdeen? Is it going to be St Mirren out of the blue?
I think. I don't know. You'd think it'd be Aberdeen, but St Mirren are doing well.
The thing is, right, St Mirren, I believe, still have to play. So St Mirren's fixtures are Rangers and Kilmarnock pre-split. Hearts' are Hibs and Ross County, and Aberdeen's are Ross County and Rangers.
Still a chance of Hibs going into the bottom 6 though, because they're only 1 point ahead of Livingston.
So yeah, that's the next point on the running order. So yeah, you've kind of got that three-team block there, kind of Hibs, Livingston, Motherwell. Fine, thank you. Motherwell were right down there a while ago. Appointed Kettlewell, done quite well.
Good, boiling thanks.
They have a chance, and that bottom 6. It's not like they're getting any. It just means they're going to not finish in the top 6. Hibs have a derby, which is probably not the best position to be in.
Right, because they've not lost every derby this season.
I don't think they've won one, but there's at least one that's been a draw.
Yeah. Oh no, it was Martin Boyle coming back in the last minute, was it not? Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Motherwell play only teams in the bottom. Livingston play only teams in the bottom 6. Livingston versus Motherwell was last weekend. Motherwell have to play Celtic as well. So I would, if it was me, I'd say Livy have the best chance of getting there just based on who they have to play.
Mm-hmm.
They've also conceded quite a lot.
And then yes, they have. The last thing is obviously the kind of bottom section of the table. So the first question is kind of who's going down. The second question is, can we draw St Johnstone into that? They're kind of 5 points above the playoffs. No,
I think they're safe.
You think they're safe?
So just for non maybe Scottish listeners who maybe don't know the structure as well. So last place goes down automatically, and then second last plays in a playoff against the winner of the playoff in the championship. Am I right?
Yes.
Right.
Third plays fourth. They play the winner of that plays second. Winner of
Yeah.
that plays 11th.
Which is an absolutely ludicrous system and should just be the same as everything else right the way further down the leagues.
It's better that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we'll go on to that. Greg, you can explain that when we get to there.
We will get on to that. Of those, I think it's quite difficult to judge who's going down. It's going to come down, in my opinion, to the games between the three of them.
Yeah.
I could say Ross County have, Hearts to play.
It's just mental. It's mental in my eyes that Dundee United were playing in Europe, and now they're sitting bottom of the league with only a few games left.
To be fair, the one thing I would say about Dundee United is, like, they look like the team that's going down.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Or they did until they beat Hibs at the weekend.
Yeah, that was a saving grace for them, I would say.
It was a late penalty, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're now only 2 points adrift. And as I say, it'll come down to the games against them. That's my feelings on it anyway.
I go with them in
So,
Kelly.
just before we move on, let's just pick one team that we think are going down.
Dundee United.
I'm going with Dundee United as well. I think they're going to be too far gone. So at least we're in agreement, sure.
Ross County have something about them to. I think Ross County will end up in the playoff. Like, I think it'll finish as it is now.
No, I could see Kelly being in the playoff and Ross County was scraping it up because I don't know, they seem to be in a better run.
I would say Rangers and Celtic at least once, or draw, whatever.
Yeah, I would say I think whoever ends up in the playoff position will be fine.
Yeah, right.
To talk about that, actually, to move on to that, we'll move into the Championship. As I say, 4 games left in all the divisions below the Premiership. As of last night, this is Wednesday. So as of Tuesday night, Dundee beat Ayr. So are now 3 points ahead at the top of the table. Queen's Park have bottled it with 3 losses in a row.
That's mental, isn't it?
Dundee versus Queen's Park on the final weekend. Will it be a title showdown, or will Dundee have won it by then?
I hope so. Make it more entertaining. More to play for.
I think it will go to the last game. But I think Dundee will go up.
Queen's Park have to play Ayr and Morton, who are both kind of up there. Dundee, have kind of Inverness and Morton, so it's not that they're both kind of playing one relegation fodder team and 2 from that kind of top half.
It'd be good to see Queen's Park go up, I think, but at the same time, Dundee always fluctuate, so
Dundee fluctuate. Carry on, Kyle.
No, it'd be good, but for like the historicalness for Queen's Park to go up, but
that was my thing.
You've then got the stadium issue though, and
yeah,
the easy answer to the stadium issue is don't get promoted.
You can't just not get. You want to go up. You want to play the best teams, get the most money.
Yeah, I know. I'm just not convinced that they'll add it. I would rather Dundee United stayed up and Dundee went up as champions. I'd quite like a Dundee derby again.
You need Dundee to stay down for that.
Or Dundee United to stay up, one or the other. I don't think either will happen. I think Dundee will go up and Dundee United will come down.
Good.
Just missing each other on the way past.
Yes.
Morning.
Keep each other fingers on the way past.
Good morning, God.
Next question is kind of who's getting into that kind of playoff spot. So you would say, Queen's Park, yes, they're on a complete shite run of form and they are only 6 points above 5th. So, if the bottle continues to crack, they could end up completely outside the playoffs. But you'd imagine.
I wouldn't have thought so.
You've got Partick, Ayr, Inverness, Morton.
I hope it's Queen's Park, Partick, and Inverness.
Yeah, I can't see them manky bastards going up.
I think for me it depends on how the cup semi-finals go. I think Inverness. I'm
not very.
Which one would you rather have?
Have you ever played in the Premiership?
Probably back in the day.
Back in the day, but not in recent times.
Not like since the SPL kind of format.
Not really.
Like, it would be good for a new team to go up, but just not them.
Yeah, not them. Get Partick back.
Or Morton, we could see them go up.
Nah.
Nah.
Somebody different, pretty much.
They're just
Nah.
as bad as they are.
Yeah, no, I don't like them.
Just somebody different. I don't have a strong hatred for them as much.
Yeah. That is the question. Who's going up out of them or who's going in the playoffs? I don't think it matters because I think whoever ends up in the
I know.
playoffs, I'll get beat
Yeah.
anyway.
I think Kelly, like the likes of Kelly, would be too strong for them.
You'd think so.
Maybe not
Yeah.
Partick because they've been quite good form, but
You do it. I don't know about me, but well, I don't know about you, sorry, but for me, it is quite good to see like one of the teams beat them in the playoffs. So, yeah,
But
that's
I
sums
enjoyed
up
it
that.
when Motherwell won the playoff final. That was my favourite year.
Yeah, I was waiting for that one.
Cameron Bell.
Cameron Bell was something new. Cameron Bell was too busy doing sparring sessions in the box. Sorry, that was he was doing that with the ball while Bilal Mosny was doing it with Lee Irwin's face. Enjoy that
yeah.
photo, and he's like,
I don't have the
"Look
stats to
that."
hand, but I don't know how many teams have actually won a playoff final. It can't be that many.
well, against from the Championship.
Yeah, like how many times has a team been relegated from the Premiership through the playoffs? There's Hibs. Hibs is the only example I can think of off the top of my
Who put
head.
Hibs
There's
out
bound
again?
to be others. Hamilton
You're right, it was.
I might.
on penalties.
Good.
But that was a few years ago. I think that might have been like the first year they did it.
Oh, my sock.
But yeah, I can't
Right.
think of many off the top of my head examples where two have gone up. I don't
Two-
think the
two
format
went down.
helps.
They went down last season. That counts.
Yeah, that is true.
Queen's been one.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I think the format below, which we'll get onto in a minute, is much more easy for you to go down. Whereas, assuming,
It's the big
like,
teams.
for example, say the team that finishes fourth gets to the playoff final, they've had to play 6 games before they're even playing the Premiership side.
Well, they shouldn't have finished fourth. I was joking. I agree with you.
So it favours the big team.
It does favour the big teams, and it's evidently a structure that's been put in place to kind of stop teams being relegated out of the Premiership. Anyway, the relegation battle of the
Which-
Championship is also close.
Who's it
Sounds
side?
sounds like someone's in a tunnel.
That's probably me.
Put the window up. Right. Keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, relegation battle in the Championship is still pretty close despite Arbroath's, fairly
Virgins.
decent run of form recently. You kind of got Arbroath on 32 points, Hamilton on 29, and Cove on 27. Quite funny to see that Cove had lost their first game in, was it 13 or first game in 12 when they sacked McIntyre, and then have now dropped to the foot of the table under Paul Hartley, who some people wanted for the Queen's job. Not me.
Good riddance.
I think we did say that.
I did.
Yeah, both of you did.
I know I definitely said it.
Oh well, I'll take that one on the chin. I've got a wee point for you. Why is it always teams that are near the bottom of the Championship that are in the Diddy Cup final? Because we were near the bottom last season and played Wraith, who were probably at mid-table. Wraith are 7th, played Hamilton, who are sitting in 9th. Hamilton won that just to get that point in as well, even though they're second bottom
Yeah,
with a very poor record. Still got a wee
Well,
cup win.
They've picked up.
it's better than it was. Yeah, they've picked up recently. They were much worse than that before.
I think it's just because
Yeah.
Cove are absolutely dog meat.
Yeah, they are. They went up last season, didn't they?
Yeah. So romped it.
So yeah, I wonder, do we think Cove will be going straight back down?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All Hartley Jam going back to the League One.
I would also say, I think, so to discuss the kind of playoff format, from League One to Championship and Championship to League One to League Two, it's, so again, 9th, 2nd, 3rd and 4th, but this time 4th plays 9th and 2nd plays 3rd. Two-legged ties, straight away out. So you could be relegated after the first game, basically. I think whoever finishes in that 9th, like if it is Hamilton or Cove, I think Arbroath maybe have enough to save themselves, but they shouldn't be in 9th in the first place.
3 points off Hamilton, so one loss in there.
There's not much leeway.
There's not, but I think Arbroath should do it, and I'd have more confidence in Arbroath staying up than I would Hamilton.
Their goal difference is -15 to Hamilton's -30, so that might keep them up.
And Cove's -36.
Yeah, so
Impressive.
unless
That's impressive, but did they not get scudded like 6-0 2 weeks in a row?
something like that.
Wow, that's mental.
Anyway, I hope Hamilton go down. Actually, no, I don't, because Queens still have a good record against them. We'll probably have to play them next season.
But it's closer for an away day, so rather go there than fucking Arbroath.
On the bus.
Or Cove.
Yeah, exactly.
Cove are coming
Hi,
to
Hamlet,
anyway.
just do us a favour and go down.
Aye.
It's fine though,
Anyway.
because we'll be playing them next season.
Hamilton.
League One. So Dunfermline could
Let me get my table up.
did not win the title on Tuesday night. Dunfermline. They drew with Falkirk on Saturday, and Falkirk managed to get a result last night to keep them in the title hunt. He says, not really. Dunfermline can win it this weekend. They do not even have to beat Queen of the South. Falkirk can simply not win against Airdrie.
So it's fine, because Queens are going to win on Saturday anyway.
We'll go on to that.
Sorry, I just wanted to get that in there.
Well, that is in this week's predictions. So yeah, I think we can safely say Dunfermline are going to win the title, and it would need an almighty collapse for that not to happen. The real question
They
is,
definitely deserve
are Falkirk going to bottle second? That is the real question.
I don't know, they've been
Wouldn't have
playing
thought
well.
so. I wouldn't think so, but
Nah.
Airdrie are on a run. Since Queens beat them, Airdrie have beat 5 teams at won 5 games in a row.
I think it's going to go Dunfermline, Falkirk, Airdrie, Queens.
So yes, that is the next question. Who is making that final playoff spot? You have said Queens. Queens play Airdrie on the final day.
Is it a home or away?
Away.
I'll be working anyway.
Alloa play Montrose. Oh no, they don't. Sorry, Alloa play Dunfermline on the final day, which could be a godsend for Queens.
I don't know though, because Dunfermline have already won the league. Remember what happened last season? There wasn't really much to play for in that last game, and we beat Dunfermline away.
I'm wrong. Queens are at home at Kelty on the final day.
Oh. What's the
I
date?
may
of
have
that?
forgot that May exists. The 6th of May.
I'll them off.
We're taking that day off.
I'm off.
I'm sadly
Neither am I.
otherwise engaged.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, so it is Queens versus Alloa versus FC Edinburgh, who have absolutely
No,
collapsed.
That's going in the preview on the Twitter. Greg engaged shock emoji.
Yes. Queens 16 points out of possible 18.
Good. That's good.
Good. Ridiculously good. As I say, FC Edinburgh are the other team there. They're probably not going to make the playoffs because they've been pitched recently. And
We'll be by Peterhead.
They did. They got beat by Peterhead at the weekend, and that says enough. But to be fair, they do still have to play Clyde and Kelty.
Going to be a close one, I think. Anyway,
It's going to be very close.
Even if Queens don't make the playoffs, you know what? We've made great progress under Marvin, and I think give him a summer to get more of his own players in, and hopefully keeping Kevin Jaszowski and Rory Payton, which look very doubtful to be honest. Maybe
Kevin Jaszowski, bloody hell, that's a blast in the past.
That's Jaszowski, Dabrowski, whatever his name is.
Yes.
I'd feel like 2014 on the brain. Dabrowski, sorry, big man. It was too late for me to save that one.
Anyway,
move on.
Anyway, yeah, for me, if we're looking at Queens' prospects for next season, which I'm sure we'll do some episode on predictions for next season, like as a whole, I think it's best for us if Falkirk and Dunfermline go up. Get rid of them both.
We'll beat Falkirk.
That's two full-time teams out of the league.
We did it at Palmerston actually, but we couldn't beat them away. We went twice.
That was before Marvin's time though.
True. Very, very true.
I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, I think for me, getting rid of Dunfermline and Falkirk would be very helpful.
Yeah, I think
Cove is much more of an agreeable prospect than Dunfermline.
Hamilton maybe, or Arbroath. It's good.
Yeah, Hamilton I
maybe.
wouldn't mind. Anyway,
I mean, I don't think it's not going to take us very long to discuss this. It's Clyde and Peterhead in 9th and 10th. Which order they'll be is the other question.
well, yes, which order they'll be better, because Peterhead's win on a Saturday was responded by Clyde drawing on Saturday and drawing on Tuesday night.
I think Peterhead are going
2
down.
0-0 draws against
think
Falkirk
Peterhead
and
will
Kelty.
Still go down, and then Clyde, well, I'm not. I need to look at the League Two table.
Peterhead versus Clyde, not this weekend, the weekend after. That is huge.
I'm going to be cheeky. I'm going to say Peterhead go 9th, Clyde go straight down.
I think so. Peterhead have a chance again. They have Clyde, which, as I say, if you win that, you're in a prime position. They also play Kelty the week after and Montrose. You know, they've got teams down the bottom to play. Whereas Clyde still have to play Dunfermline and FC Edinburgh.
Yeah.
So yes.
I would say Clyde are going down.
I would be quite worried for either of those sides. You know, I know Clyde have started to pick up results kind of recently, but whoever finishes 9th, I would still be worried for them.
They play good football. So that game against Queens, they played quite nice football. But
Yeah.
They did. They just couldn't get a result.
You can pass what you want, but you can't score goals. You can't score goals.
Exactly.
Correct. The other, so moving into League Two, actually, Dumbarton versus Stirling was meant to be last night, battle between the top two. It was postponed for a 4th time, 15 minutes before kick-off.
That's ridiculous.
Due to the rain. I did see the rain. I think the ground could maybe have been cleared if they tried. They did, however, Dumbarton name 3 substitutes last night, of which one was 17 and the other one was a goalkeeper. And the game was then surprisingly called off.
Was that not AirJ this season? Didn't it have like 2 subs for a good chunk of the season?
Actually, I have no idea.
There's one season they had like 3 subs.
I think it was this season.
3 subs, game suddenly postponed. Tinfoil hat. You know, it's at the stage now, it's been postponed 4 times. Just give Stirling the 3 points.
Neutral venues.
Yes. Don't play it in Dumbarton.
I don't want to play it in Dumbarton.
Put it at Wembley.
Yes, Stirling are still 9 points ahead of Dumbarton. Stirling will surely need a massive collapse to not win the league. Dumbarton were top for a lot of the season and have had that massive collapse. They have 1 point from a possible 15. Which is quite shocking.
Yeah, you're right.
It's not very poggers.
In fact, it could actually be 1 point from a possible 18. They last won against Annan on the 11th of February.
Annan started them last Saturday.
Exactly. Talking of Annan are 7 points behind them. You kind of have this still in League Two, like you have a lot of the season. You've kind of got Annan 4 first, Dennismuir and East Fife all going for 2 playoff spots, really. Annan kind of cementing that.
I hope Annan go up. But if we don't go up, it'd be good to have an actual kind of local rivalry. I know it's not a proper rivalry, but I quite enjoyed the League Cup game.
Yeah.
I didn't actually. Lost. No, I didn't enjoy that part, but I enjoyed the fact that we were playing Annan and it was an occasion.
Every fucking season, don't we?
Yeah, we played.
No, I know, but like
a
proper game. But like, in the league, we'd think how many times we'd play them. It'd be good.
Yeah,
it was an easy way to put them in the train.
Aye, exactly. But even walk the next time.
I'm going on a bike. Stump
we get done for drink driving. I'm taking my tech deck.
Of course, Stirling going up as well would be good for you, Robert. Easy away day for you.
Stay at my brother's accommodation. That'd be nice.
It's like not far on a train either.
To be fair.
2 hours.
Not really. I've been to Dumbarton away.
Go through Lindsay.
No
for anyone who tuned in to the story on the way back from Stirling that time. Right.
It can't be worse. You kind of got that bottom spot as well, which kind of links into the Highland Bowling League we'll come on to. The bottom spot is still very close. Elgin, you know, I talk about Elgin every week in the predictions. They were 3rd in January. They're now 2nd bottom. They were bottom at the weekend, after Albion's win. They then sacked the manager and managed to get a point against Stennismuir last night.
Can I just
You've
add
got
something here,
Albion on
actually?
33, Elgin on 34, Bonnyrigg on 35. Yes.
Albion have a 0 goal difference on my table.
Yeah,
Yep.
must,
That's correct.
they must
That's
get
mental that
scurried.
Elgin have 16. Yeah, they're on minus 16.
Look at 4 for -3 in their 4th place.
Yep. This league has been absolutely mad.
Best league in the world. Fuck
So-
Premier League.
For more of our listeners, it's just the bottom team that finished last playing a playoff against the winner of the playoffs between the Highland and the Lowland League.
Again, similar format, almost definitely to stop teams getting relegated. It would be interesting to see Bonnyrigg in that kind of bottom spot, because I don't think, again, I could be completely wrong, of all the teams that have came up from the kind of 5th tier in the pyramid, I don't think any of them have been in that position yet. I don't think we've not had anyone who's gone up going back down. In fact, in most cases you've got like Cove, FC Edinburgh,
Your bankroll teams.
yes.
Well, Cowdenbeath, didn't they?
Yeah, they went down. No, they were always here.
Bloody
Dogs
dogs.
back.
Kelty's the other one.
Ooh, ooh.
You know, Kelty, they've kind of gone straight up into League One. You've not really had that experience of someone who's came up needing to go back down.
But a lot of teams have went down and then, like, was it Stenhouse? No. Who went down last season?
Yeah, that's the other thing. Who did Cowdenbeath, was it not went down last season?
Why did I say Stenhousemuir? Yeah, Cowdenbeath. Brecon went down as well, did they not?
Yeah, they might be the ones closest to coming back up, though it looks like that's not happening this year, again, as we'll get onto it.
Yeah.
It's proof that league is tough and competitive, and
Well,
actually
Berwick
a
as
lot
well.
of teams in it are probably better than League Two. Yeah, Berwick, East
Yeah.
Stirling's the other one, I think.
That's the one. I think I saw the S and thought Stenhousemuir.
East
Aye,
Stirlingshire,
anyway.
yeah. There's a lot of teams there that just haven't came back up, and I think, as I say, it proves how competitive that league's getting now.
Gretna.
Yes. Conversation for a different episode.
Yes, on the subject of who might be in that Highland Lowland League playoff, Spartans are not yet confirmed as Lowland League champions, but their win over Trinent and the fact that University of Stirling got beat means that they will take the Lowland League playoff berth, even if they do not finish as champions. If one of the B teams finishes as champions, the Spartans will still get a shot at it.
Good.
Their opponents are, unless something terrible happens, is either going to be Bucky Thistle or Broder Rangers, who play each other next weekend in what could be a title decider. Bucky play one game before this weekend, Broder play Wednesday night, Saturday, Wednesday night, and then into the title decider.
Jeezy, peeps, man. That's mental.
It's terrible.
Also, if Broder come up, I feel really sorry for Stranraer, because that's going to be an awful away day.
Where is it up? Right in the
Like
Highlands.
further north than
Yeah.
Inverness.
We went there. We went past it on holiday once, but they were playing away. It's a trek, like.
They came to Queen, they
Fort
came to
William.
Palmerston before in the Scottish Cup.
Yeah, I believe so. Did we not? Who was it? Did Dalbeattie not get somewhere like that?
Possibly, I don't know. I just
Yes.
remember that they came to Palmerston in the Scottish Cup.
Yeah, that's a leave the day before job. That.
Well, it sounds like the
100%.
Ironborough Cup, when like your northern teams get an Irish team or a Welsh team.
Yeah, that's true. Queens have
I
played
hope-
Linfield at Palmerston before.
I hope we get Linfield away next season. That'd be a class game.
I hope the Welsh teams. I've read something that the Welsh teams might not be back in it. I
Good.
hope they are, and I hope like it's someone local, because that would be really helpful.
Cardiff.
Someone in North Wales saw it. Cardiff Met Uni.
But the same level.
Well, actual Cardiff, yeah, they
Yeah.
probably are.
Yeah.
Sobama getting
It would
rigged
be
by
nice to
Payton.
have. It would be nice to have another fresh face in that league.
Well, I
Um,
thought that we were going to get Linfield away because they did the draw, and it was like Linfield at home 2, and it was like Queen's Park. So got my hopes up for nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, as I said, I think it would be nice to have another team. I don't know if Albion or Elgin are good enough to stay up. I think it'll be tough.
I think Elgin would, because they've got some like a Kane Esters who's good at scoring goals.
Yeah.
Well, he stopped scoring ever since he got his investigation for betting, and since he got his flat raided or house raided.
I suppose, yeah.
He stopped scoring. That's probably been symptomatic of Elgin's season, that when Kane Hester's stopped scoring, Elgin have done shit, which is most of the time since January. Yeah, you worry for Albion, I think.
Yeah.
They've been down there for a
Pretty
few
much.
years and just managed to avoid it. Kind of like Cowdenbeath before. To be
Yeah.
fair, it took Cowdenbeath. I think Cowdenbeath played in the playoffs the year before and won. So just, you know, Spartans are the ones I'd be worried about. It'd be nice to see another Edinburgh team, but you know, we are getting an increased central belt dominance in Scottish football, and I think at some point over the summer we're going to chat about the pyramid, and we can talk about that in a bit more detail.
Yeah.
Stay tuned, guys.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. We could have a new name in the league next season.
Ooh.
That'd be good.
With that, we are going back to our favourite game as the end of this
Yay.
discussion.
So that's good.
Robert,
I've had good feedback. I've had good feedback about this game, so we're keeping it going.
we're keeping it going. Kyle is the reigning champion still because, you know, Robert is shit. Yeah, lose every week.
He's running away, scared.
He's getting the answers out.
Oh, I knew it was coming. I've got my disco lights ready if I win.
Champion
But
is
they're
here.
not. They're not coming on until I win something.
So that'll be a while then. That might be a few
Yeah,
weeks.
pretty much. I've actually unplugged it. I've not even plugged it in yet.
Right. As usual, if you get one right, you'll hear a ding. And if you hear it wrong, you'll hear a... And if I think you're taking too long, I will get Naveed to tell you to hurry up. That is the wrong button. We'll try that again.
Clock is ticking. Gonna have to rush you.
Almost like
Or both.
Yes, controversy last week as I called Robert out of time and he had to stop. There'll be none of that this week. You need to get your answer in before Uti time comes
Yeah,
on.
I'm just gonna leave the call this time. I couldn't last week. He had the mouse in his hand and wouldn't let go.
Anyway, Kyle, you can start this week because I forgot whose turn it is to start.
so he has his loser.
Okay. Robert, do you want to go first?
Just handing the win now. He just does what he wants. Yes,
Who
I'll go
wants to go
first.
first?
I'll go first. I'll go first.
Right, so the first question this week, there are 17 possible answers.
Looks like
We
he's
are looking-
googling, getting ready.
No, let's put my side plate back in.
Right.
We are looking for any team Rory Payton has scored against while playing for Queens in all
I
competitions.
don't know.
So that's this season and last season, any team Rory Payton has scored against
Rory-
while playing for Queens.
Wait.
17 answers.
So I hate questions like this because I always doubt myself. Right, when do I start?
Now,
Alloa.
Alloa Athletic,
Falkirk.
Falkirk, 2 goals against Falkirk.
Ah. FC Edinburgh.
He's scored 5 goals against FC Edinburgh.
Morton.
Morton, 1 goal against Morton.
Who else is in our league? I have a feeling they scored against Dunfermline, but I think I'm doubting myself now.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Dunfermline,
Surely Peterhead.
3 goals against Peterhead.
Clyde?
2 goals against Clyde.
Montrose.
Montrose, 2 goals against Montrose.
Alright, I can't mind anyone else in the league now. Have we said Falkirk?
We have said Falkirk, I will tell you that, and I'm not...
Oh, I would
Wait, was it- Just
No.
give him the point. I'm not. I can't first. Give him the point. I don't know.
There we go, that is a point for Kyle. Other teams, Kyle, do you want to shout any out?
No, because didn't know anymore. I get you've got the point, so don't even start.
The one that's
Ayr.
missing from the league just now, he's not scored against Ayr. Kelty is the other team in the league he's scored against. He's not scored against Airdrie. Other teams he has scored against is Annan twice, Broomhill, Cove, Elgin, Hamilton, Motherwell, Partick, and St Johnstone.
Wouldn't have got any of them, so it's all good.
I wouldn't have got any of those. So The other, Robert maybe should have got Annan since we seen him scoring against Annan on his debut. Right, Robert, Kyle needs another point to win. This time we are looking for, there are 37 possible answers.
We'll get about 4.
Any team playing in this season's Highland League or Lowland League.
Oh, jeez, man. Right, who's starting?
Kyle will start because you started last time.
Rangers B.
Rangers B. As much as I don't want them to, they're there.
Celtic B.
Hearts B.
Heart of Midlothian B.
Spartans.
The Spartans.
Brora Rangers.
I've had to go into the Highland League column. Brora Rangers.
The Albici Star. The Beatty.
The Albici Star. Maybe not for much longer.
I'm get the point what I can.
Bucky Thistle.
Bucky Thistle. Maybe not for much longer.
Gretna 2008.
Cowden Beath.
Yep.
Wrekin.
Brecon City, yep.
Yeah, no way to put the city on.
Trent Juniors.
I'm doubting myself now. I can't. I've went blank. There's like there's loads of them.
Clock is ticking.
Oh, I don't know.
Bless you.
I can't think now. I was gonna say Motherwell B, but I don't think so. No,
No.
I went blank.
Kyle's the champion again. Yeah, so we only managed to name 3 teams in the Highland League, which are Brecon, Brora and Bucky. Other ones you might know, Fraserburgh, who won the league last year, Wick Academy, who played Falkirk in the Scottish Cup, and I'm going to skip over the other ones, apart from the one that's called Keith.
Is there Nairn County? Is that one?
Nairn County are there, yes.
Fort William?
Fort William aren't anymore, they got relegated last year. Good job you didn't go with that one. In
nice
the Lowland
ones.
League, other names you didn't get. Berwick Rangers, who we've mentioned already today. Bowness United. Broomhill, no longer
how
the
did I
goal for
forget?
INT. Caledonian Braves. Civil Service Strollers. Cumbernauld Colts. East Kilbride. Another name we mentioned on the podcast, East Stirlingshire. Edinburgh University, Gallifreydine Rovers, and the other university that we named on the podcast earlier, which is University of Stirling.
Ah, well, I'll take that. I can't mind.
So
Eh,
for a
I
whitewash,
I
Yeah,
think we
let's
should
do
do the third one round as well, because you said it was a hard one and you would be surprised if we got a lot.
there are 47 possible answers. I will be surprised if between you get more than 6. Any player who has been sent off in the Scottish Premiership this season. Robert, start.
I'm stuck already. I'm going to say Morelos, but I don't even know if he's been sent off this season.
Yep, against Hibs. I'm sure it was against Hibs. The day Rangers finished with 9 men.
Oh well. Which got that wee boy again? Snodgrass.
Robert Snodgrass. Yep.
Val McGregor.
Yep.
Well, this is a bit of a stab in the dark. But we're going to go for Barisic.
Barnett Barisic.
I think it is.
No,
I'll take
2-1.
the point.
Robert gets a point. I'm trying to see if there's literally anyone who's even worth mentioning on this really long list. Alex Cochrane, Andy Considine got sent off the other weekend. Cammy Devlin, Declan Gallagher, Josh Granelli, George Grant. Shout out to the George Grant fans who listen to this podcast. Kyle's looking like Jason Holt from back in the day. John Lindstrom, who was the other Rangers player sent off the
I
day
couldn't remember.
Morelos was sent off. Ross McCrory, Mark O'Hara, Alan Power, Liam Scales, been sent off twice. Connor Shields, former Queen's player, Graham Shinney, Cam Slattery, Ash Taylor, David Turnbull, and Ely Yuan and Tony Watt, and a ton of others, because we managed to get a whole 3 correct answers in that round.
Oh, well, I'll take it. I'll take 2-1.
With that, it is
I could
me
afford
again.
it.
And we're on to predictions. Good week for me last week in predictions. 6 points for me, 5 points for Kyle, and only 4 for Robert, after being the only one to incorrectly predict that Celtic wouldn't win the Old Firm.
Okay.
What can we say? This week it is Kyle's picks. They are the usual format, 2 wild cards and 2 games from each tier of Scottish football. So we will start at the top, which is Saturday lunchtime, the Edinburgh Derby. It is Hibs v Hearts. Hearts, under Stephen Naismith, dropped 4th. Both teams are a run of 4 defeats in a row. Hibs are only a point ahead of Livy in the race for the top 6, as we discussed. Will Hearts have a new manager bounce?
Yes. No, I'm joking. I think a draw.
I also think a draw. Draw. 3 draws. Because the Edinburgh Derby is pish.
Well, I never said that, you did.
Yep, I did. Again, if you any hate mail, send us an email or drop us a tweet. I don't care. Scottish Premiership.
Hearts fans.
Yeah. Other game is Livingston versus St Johnstone. Livy looking to overtake Hibs, but have lost their last 2 games. Face St Johnstone's side who haven't won in 5 games.
Livingston.
I'm going for a 1-0 Livingston win.
I'm going for Livingston.
I'm enjoying inspecting his dandruff.
Yes. 3 Livingston wins.
I watched it this morning, you dirty bastard.
Out of the Championship, Dundee versus Morton. Dundee now the leaders, unbeaten in 6, face the Morton side of the shout of the playoffs. But their win against Hamilton on Tuesday was their first in 7 games. I am going for a Dundee win.
Same.
Well, same then.
Christ, three
No,
all the same predictions. Other game in the Championship is Wraith versus Arbroath. Wraith look comfortable in 7th, Arbroath in 8th, and looking over their shoulders, 3 points in front of Hamilton in 9th. I'm going for a draw.
I was going to say that.
I'm going to say Wraith.
Still can.
No. No, I'm going Wraith.
Who are you going, Kyle?
Wraith. Rovers.
League One, Dunfermline versus Queens. Dunfermline could win the title, but face a Queens side who have already won a point at East End Park this season and who have the best form in the league. Queens for Robert.
A draw.
Draw for Kyle. Do you know what? As much as I love them, Dunfermline to win the title by winning it. I predicted Queens would draw last week and they won, so if I predict they lose, they might win. Who knows? Other game in League One is Kelty versus Alloa. Kelty with 3 draws in a row and comfortable in 8th. Alloa lost 2 on the spin and being challenged for their playoff place, which I've managed to spell incorrectly.
Aloha.
Aloha. It's Aloha for me as well.
Times 3.
Times 3. Into League 2, East Fife versus Stranraer. East Fife in the pack for the playoffs, 6 points ahead of Stranraer in the place below them. East Fife are without a win in 2 and Stranraer are without a win in 3. I'm going for a home win.
Draw.
Fifers.
The Fifers. Other game in League 2 is Elgin versus Forfar. Elgin off the bottom by only by a point and sacked their manager on Saturday, getting a point last night. They face Forfar side unbeaten in 4, looking for a playoff place.
Forfar.
Forfar for me as well.
To make it up.
They seemed good in there and knew it was coming.
Then here are Kyle's wild cards. Norwegian football returned yesterday. So we have Viking Stavanger versus Lillestrøm. Lillestrøm didn't play, but Viking lost 1-0 to Rosenborg.
Terrible.
I'm going to draw because Rosenborg.
I'm going for a Viking win.
Rosenborg quite good.
They finished 3rd last season.
I just go Lillestrøm just to make things.
Well, I'm still going to draw.
Lovely. And the other game is a league that does return this weekend. It's the Chinese Super League. The champions Wuhan, who won it in controversial circumstances after the league was suspended due to COVID.
They planned that.
We'll have none of your conspiracy theories here. They face Shanghai Port, formerly Shanghai SIPG, whose side contains former Chelsea player Oscar.
Respect.
I'm going for a Shanghai Port win.
I'm also going for a Shanghai Port win.
I'm going for the Wuhan boys.
You're going for the Wuhan clan. Yes, that is the end of predictions for this week.
There we go. So that was, I think that was, I've not had my timer on, but I think that was a bit of a longer episode. Last week was a wee bit of a shorter one. So, but yeah, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed that. We like looking at Scottish football in depth, so we hope you agree with some of our points. If you disagree, feel free to comment or contact us, or you do you, carrier pigeon, whatever.
Might do England
So-
next week.
Yeah, we could.
Ooh.
We'll see. We've not discussed what we're talking next week.
I don't want to discuss Cardiff getting relegated, thanks.
We do.
We had a brief
Okay.
discussion about when we end the predictions. We said the end of the Scottish Premiership, didn't we?
Yes.
So we will come to an end in the last week. So Kyle's still got a wee lead. We will resume them when the Scottish Premier League starts again, I would say.
We're not resuming them for the League Cup.
Oh, good point, actually. Yeah, I'll do it for that. Then we
Need
get a
to-
longer
League Cup.
season.
Need to. What's the scores for the predictions? Never said, did we?
Oh, yeah. No, he did.
Sorry.
Greg's.
Did we? I wasn't listening.
Greg's.
I said how
Okay.
many we won last week. I didn't
Yeah.
give us the total
Yeah.
overall scores. So I will do that. It is myself on 88, Robert on 89, and Kyle on 93. That's the only reason he wanted me to say them. If he was losing, he wouldn't want me to.
It's fine. I think he'll bottle it anyway. There's still time. How
It's time
how
for
many
him to
games
do
we got?
Elgin City.
4 games left.
7 or 6 after this
Oh,
weekend.
the split is. And are we going to the end of the playoffs?
Well,
no,
we'll
we
go
said
to the end of the
Premiership,
Premiership
didn't we?
season.
Yeah, then we'll do this playoffs, isn't it? Oh well, right, that's fine. Right, I
Right.
think we'll call it a day there, Mr. Gummy Teeth.
More dry.
Right, thank you very much for listening. Goodbye.
Godspeed.
Goodbye.